Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Hey, you guys. This is exciting. We got a great show today. My girl Sabrina is our host, and it's going to be juicy. It is going to be juicy. I am still traveling, hence the background. That's what it looks like outside. So here comes the music. Here comes the music. Where my girls at? That's us. Hey, Romario, comment in the chat. We want to know where you're watching from. Who's downloaded the 19 a.m.
All right. It's going down.
Ready.
It's going down. Happy Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. This is Sabrina Goodwin Monday. Welcome to We Got Issues with the Force of Friendship. My girlfriends, Katrina, Gloria, Chrisette, and Sabrina. That's the Force of Friendship. Here we are. Another day on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern. Hello, tribe. I see you checking in on Facebook. You're watching us on Facebook. You're listening to us on 910. You're listening to us on iHeartRadio. I see you from North Carolina. I see you from New Jersey. I see you from San Francisco Bay. I'm telling you, we are all over the country, soon to be all over the world. Well, I'm excited to be here. It is Thursday, and we've got work to do. We've got a lot to talk about. You know, you're just disheartened. More shootings, more mass shootings. It seems like we turn on the news and there's another shooting and another shooting. It's a bit much. It is a bit much. I'm with the President of the United States. He said today, enough prayers. It's time for action. And so I'm believing that he's going to be a man of his word. And we're going to have some action on some of these gun reform laws, because my goodness, you guys, how much more? We've got to put a stop to this thing. It is so sad. Gloria, all the way in Baltimore. How are you today?
Girl, normally I'm in Baltimore, but I'm with the kids down here in Florida. And when I tell you it was rainy this morning and it is sunny today, but I have to agree with you, Sabrina. I don't think all of us can smile and cry at the same time, but we're figuring out how to smile and cry at the same time, because it's unbelievable. It's hard to really wrap your head around it. I cannot believe every single day we're talking about a mass shooting, not a homicide, not a bad situation. We're talking about families being wiped out, school children down the street from the middle school. It is unbelievable that we are living in the land of the free and we are afraid. You know, it really is getting to the point when you hear a loud noise, you look the other way because you're not sure what you're hearing. This is a true story. I was in the grocery store. I'm down here in Florida, and I was in the grocery store the other day, and I said to myself, isn't it awful that I have to even think about that? I mean, I was in the grocery store thinking about, what if I had been in the grocery store?
Wow.
This is so you really think about it. And before, it was never a part of my thought process. Your kids go to school and you think about it. What are you used to just interview the principal. What's your vision for the school's education this year? But now it's like, what's your vision for the school's education and what's your escape plan? Like how much time?
Security. What security? Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
really who's the policeman around here? You know, it's where we are today. So it's a lot, but it falls right into this topic. It falls right into this topic. You know how we're balancing everything. But when I tell you, it is beautiful in Florida. Not everybody's wearing their mask. If you're on the mask side, I'm on the mask side. I don't care what the rest of y'all are doing. I'm wearing my mask. But I'm telling you, it's interesting. It's just interesting. Life is interesting. Why? I'm gonna tell you why life is interesting, because we got issues. We got issues. You got issues. We all got issues. And so we're gonna go to the big D.
Hey.
Issues.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Sabrina, Gloria, you're so right. It's like we're in our text messaging group, and every few minutes you hear about a mass shooting. And so our hearts, thoughts, and prayers go out to all of the victims, the family. My heart just bleeds for the young children that were lost. It's just heartbreaking. And so how do you laugh and cry at the same time? So yeah, our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to them. But on a better note, how about the two new mayors? OMG, that is so exciting. Tashana Jones, the first Black mayor in St. Louis. Shut up. When I tell
My
you,
mother
when
was
that came,
so happy.
I know. My dad is from St. Louis, so I know he's over the top excited. So yeah. So that's exciting. And then to see Kim Janey, what? She is
Boston. Woo!
Yes, Boston. I mean, her story is so incredible, to be the first woman and the first Black in over 99 years. And to know at 11 years old, she was bused to all white. Well, they were desegregating that particular school in the Charleston area. And now it was just so awesome to see how she went back to the school, and to go back to the school. And now you're the mayor of Boston. I know that had to feel so good. And, just to hold the light for all of those young girls, young Black girls and boys, to say, hey, you know what? We say all the time, it's never where you start, it's always where you finish. So those were two things that absolutely put a smile on my face. And so again, I'm excited about this topic as well. I'm going to throw it to my girlfriend, Katrina. When I tell you guys, the listeners, you guys can't see what we're seeing, but her background is absolutely breathtaking. When I tell you, we are living vicariously through Katrina as she travels out north. So tell us out west, to the west. Katrina, tell us where you are and what's going on.
Oh, goodness. I mean, seriously, they're not wearing masks in South Dakota. Otherwise, I literally would have sat outside, Chris. I really would have sat outside, but there's people around with no masks, so I wasn't going to be out there. But this is what it looks like outside. We are in the crux, the base of the mountain in Mount Rushmore. And we literally just took pictures less than 20 minutes ago. We were standing out there. So watch on social media. And just so much happened. Yesterday, 2 days ago, they had 11 inches of snow, y'all. And today it's like almost 60, 70 degrees. Tomorrow the snow is coming. So when I say God just put us right in here, so we're about to get up out of here and keep heading toward California. But thank God for infrastructure, y'all. We need this infrastructure bill because the internet's not great here. I'm on the internet on my iPad with Verizon because, we need internet all over the place. Gloria, when I was in the other place that I was in, I had to go to Walmart. I had to run to Walmart for Anthony. And literally 7 a.m. in the morning, just me in the Walmart. And that was my thought. What if something went down? Because I'm definitely in gun country. Y'all, today we went to Mount Rushmore, and it's breathtaking. It's amazing. But I'm telling you, Crazy Horse is what got me, because it is the story of Crazy Horse. I mean, you have to look it up. But this quote, we know about Native Americans. We know what happened to them and what happened because of the white man. This quote right here. Crazy Horse. Whoops. Now I totally hear myself again. Why? This is a quote from one of the Native American chiefs. Why will you take by force what you may obtain by love? We are unarmed and willing to give you what you ask if you come in a friendly manner. Take away your guns and swords, or you may die in the same manner. That was 1609. And then listen to
Wow.
this. Red Cloud said, they made us many promises, more than I can remember. They never kept a single one. The only promise that the white man kept was to take our land, and they took it. I mean, when I tell you, I could go on and on and on. These quotes will blow your mind, but quotes about guns, quotes about being friendly, quotes of, I mean, it was like walking through the apartheid. 1609, 1800, talking about, I mean, I could go on and on. That's a whole show in and of itself, but so many similarities between what has taken place with Native Americans in our country, land that was taken from Mexicans. We say Native, the indigenous people, because this is before it was America. What has happened with Black folks? What has happened with Mexicans before, all the land was taken? And so it was really emotional, like walking through the Apartheid Museum or walking through the African American Museum. So I'm so grateful, Sabrina, that you're doing this work-life balance, because we're getting it in. Okay, getting it in today. So hot topic, girl, hot topic. Take it away, Sabrina.
Okay, Katrina. Well, you know what? I'm not that good. So you need to segue me to work-life balance after your history lesson. You come back and give me another segue, because I don't have it. Okay? So you didn't tell me that you were going to hijack my show with your history notes. So come on and give me a better segue to my topic, because I am the host and you just hijacked the show.
Look, I'm just telling you, every day we talk about what we do. Okay, she always messy, and wait till
Always.
Did we not talk about when she was at the Olympic trials? We talk about it because we talk about what we do. That I'm in the mountains. I am doing work-life balance, and this is my life right
Thank
now.
you. I got that.
So I'm passing it to my girlfriend.
I received that segue. I received that segue. Thank
They
you.
are a hot mess, y'all. They are a hot mess. You know
This is
why?
why we
Because
work
they
well
got
together.
issues. They got issues for real.
This is why
Yes,
we work well
we
together.
do.
Y'all, we've been together 30 years. Yin to my yang. For real, for real, for real. Well, today, you guys, we are talking work-life balance. So many people want it. So many people don't have it. With so many of us torn between juggling heavy workloads, managing relationships and family responsibilities, squeezing in outside interest, it's no surprise that more than 1 in 4 people describe themselves as super stressed. Not stressed, but super stressed. And that's not balanced, and it's not healthy. So in our rush, like Katrina just said, we get it all in. In our rush to get it all done at the office and at home, it's easy to forget that as our stress levels spike, our productivity plummets. Stress can zap our concentration, make us irritable, depressed, and harm our personal and professional relationships. Well, my friends, we lead busy lives. I don't think there's a better group to talk about work-life balance than this group. We do life in a big, big way. We want to know, especially in a pandemic, coming out of a pandemic, we had to manage a lot of how to manage it all. And so, Katrina, you just said, you're traveling across country coming out of the pandemic. That was a choice you and your husband made. Talk a little bit about that. And then I really would like to hear from all the girlfriends. We're going to have to go to a break in a minute, but just your recipe for work-life balance. Starting with you, Katrina.
Well, it is not easy because both myself and Anthony, my husband, work from home. And, we're used to meeting in the middle. Of course, during mixing COVID in has presented even a greater challenge because we've been at the house. And if you look up, a week can go by, 2 weeks can go by, and you have just been working nonstop. But it has to be a priority. It has got to be a priority. Truly, I think for me, the way that I do work-life balance is I have to get out of my environment. So it just doesn't happen if I'm at home. It doesn't happen if I'm at home. So this year, I'm really trying to convince him to get a mobile home. There's so much. Our passports are full. And while I can't wait to travel internationally, y'all, there is so much, even in your own state, y'all, that you could just get to in a day, that you can get to in a couple hours. You just have to prioritize. And literally, it gives you fuel to be able to do so much more. So we love history and we love music. We love nature. And so that's what we did. We just made a priority. I am so grateful that Anthony said, let's go a little bit out of the way, a little bit off schedule, and come to South Dakota. Okay.
Yeah.
But are you getting a mobile home? Did you say you're getting a mobile home? Did you say you're getting a mobile home? Did you say you're getting a mobile home? I just want to know. Like, say it right here on the radio. And like, don't all the rest of y'all act like, oh, okay, all right. Because, we all up in the stuff. Like, is you getting a mobile home for real?
It's an RV. That's the better word. The RV.
Yeah, the RV, because the nice ones, like the, they range.
And we want we're gonna have the girlfriends put it down. That's gonna be a topic. That's another hot topic. Who likes RV versus what you call it? Mobile home.
Mobile home.
Whatever. I just want to know.
And she's gonna be the first one saying, "Come get me." Come get me. Okay, I'm going. Oh my goodness, you guys. We are talking work-life balance. How do you do it? Do you want more of it? How do you get better at it? When I tell you these girlfriends are the experts at it, they are. But we're going to a break. You're listening to 910 AM Superstation, WFDF Talk Radio, based out of Detroit, Michigan. Call us with your thoughts. 313-778-7600. This is Sabrina Goodwin Monday. We are positive, powerful, purposeful, not Pollyannish. We talk about it all. We're going to a break. We'll be right back.
So, hey, you guys, I am talking to the audience while we are on a break, and we have extra breaks. So normally we don't go to a break till 20 minutes after the hour, but now we have about a 4-minute break. So I hope the girlfriends will help me out because you know how there's the filler of when you go to a concert, you got somebody who's like the filler. So I don't know what they're talking about, RV versus mobile home. Those mobile homes, the real big ones, don't they call them mobile homes, or do they always call them RVs? Okay. My husband's not feeling it, but a lot of times there's stuff he doesn't feel until I say, guess what? I just rented it, and then he ain't gonna let nobody else drive. But how about Yosemite, Big Bear? I mean, let's see. Love to get away from the house. Yeah, there's some super nice RVs and you can rent them. Yeah, they have a lot in them. I'm talking the kind that has a can you just give me 4 minutes? Just my husband. I'm talking about the kind that have jacuzzis in them, like those kind. Okay, nice ones. So we want to hear about your work-life balance, y'all. Please take a minute, call in 313-778-7600. How do you do work-life balance? Type in the chat, call us, let us know, what do you do for work-life balance? How do you keep it together? When do you know that it's time for you to take a break? I think there are people that need to learn how to work harder, but I think our tribe, RV Parks also. Thanks, Millicent. I think our tribe are the hard workers that probably need to know how to take a chill pill. And it doesn't always have to be 2 weeks. I love it. Okay. RV sounds more glamorous. Mobile home, RV. Okay. You can tell I ain't never been in one. So, that's good. But when I was a kid, I used to tell my mother that when I got older, I was going to buy her a mobile home just in case her house burned down. I wanted to be sure she always had a safe place to live. That was me as a kid. So that word mobile home is like entrenched in my mind. But just before the show, Chris said, how about the girlfriends get an RV and travel the country? Would you guys love that? Would you watch the show? Do you watch the show? So work-life balance, work-life balance. What do you do? Glamping. Okay, that's cool. That's definitely exactly. What do you do for work-life balance? How do you keep it together? How do you balance it out? How do you know when it's time to take a break? Where do you go? Where are some great places? Um, I know there's so many great places that we could visit in on the West Coast. Like I have not been to the Grand Canyon. And I was hoping we'd have time to go there this time, but it's too far south. It's going to take us too far off. So this is a long commercial break. I think we have one more minute. One more minute. And so one more minute, one more minute. So we're reading your comments. We're reading your comments. Let's see. Yes, great comments. Great comments. Okay, y'all ain't giving me no comments though about this work-life balance. Sabrina's gonna think I'm really hijacking the show and that all I'm talking about is camping. So put some stuff in the chat. Love the beach and the water. Yes, going across the US in an RV would be fun. I mean, once in a lifetime opportunity. Once in a lifetime opportunity. Not something I'd do forever, but something that I'd love to do. What works for me is getting my kids on a schedule. When they weren't on one, they were all over the place. I have to do meal prep and cook for 2 or 3 days in advance. Awesome. Okay. So everybody's down for the RV, mobile home RV. Y'all know we're going to be in a nice one, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, the luxury RV. Okay, Christy. So Christy, we're going to hold, this is the tribe. So we're going to hold Christy accountable. Christy, what are you going to do for work-life balance? What are you going to do? How are you going to bring it in? How are you going to make it a priority? It never will be a perfect time. You just have to choose to do it. Haven't figured it out yet either. I appreciate your honesty. Michelle, a lot of us haven't. And I'll tell you, during this year being in the house, I mean, sometimes I had to remind myself just to take a walk. So here we go. All righty, we're about 30 more seconds on the commercial break. During the time of the so during this time, it is literally just a priority that you have to take. So during this time of the Masters or something is taking place, I'm not golf. We have an extra long commercial. So I think finally I can pass it back to Sabrina. The commercial is over. Here we go. She's coming back. The music is about to. There we go.
Okay. We are back. That was a long break, like forever. Okay, like forever. I was like, okay, now did they cancel us or what? Are we ever coming back? This is Sabrina Goodwin Monday with the Force of Friendship on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. And today we are talking work-life balance. So many of us want more of it. Some of us don't have any of it at all. Some people are really good at it. And so for our tribe, we are working it out because we want to be at our best and we're going to help each other. Well, we all need a certain amount of stress because earlier I said 1 out of 4 people feel super stressed. Well, the studies show that everybody needs a certain amount of stress to spur us on to help us perform at our best. The key to managing stress lies in that one magic word: balance. And quite honestly, I've never bought the balance word. I'm all about harmony. So not only is achieving a healthy work-life balance an attainable goal, but workers and businesses alike see the rewards. When workers are balanced and happy, they are more productive, take fewer sick days, and are more likely to stay at their jobs. Here are a few practical steps we can take to loosen the grip that stress has on us and win back the balance in our lives. So at work, you guys, if you're taking notes, think about these things. Set manageable goals each day. Okay, manage others' expectations of you and what they expect of you. Be efficient with your time at work. Try not to procrastinate so much and don't be a time waster. Next point, ask for flexibility. In today's workforce, it is okay Flex time is a big deal now in the workforce. I mean, because of the pandemic, you guys, half of employers are saying that it will never be business like it was before the pandemic. They want people to stay at home because they have seen so much more productivity. The overhead is lower when people are working from home. The other thing, take 5. When you're feeling stressed and out of balance, take a minute. Breathe, take a walk, get up from the desk. Take 5 to remove yourself from the situation before you say something or do something that's not good at the workplace. Because we're not trying to get fired because we're stressed, right? And so take a minute, you guys, take a minute. The other thing they said is tune in. Put some music on in those ears. They talked about how relaxing music is and how music can pump you up and totally turn your mood around if you tune into some good music. And then they said, communicate and connect. Be honest with colleagues or your boss when you're feeling like you're in a bind. Chances are you're not alone. Talk about it. Don't complain. Don't be a whiner. Be a winner. Don't be in the problem. Be part of the solution. And so those are just a few of the key points in terms of creating balance at work. And then I'll come back and talk about some things that you can do at home. Chrisette, I know you wanted to say something before we went to break. What are your thoughts on work-life balance?
Wow, this is such a great topic. I was thinking about balance. Balance for one is not balance for all. And so, everybody has to look at their own life and decide what balance looks like for you. My balance definitely doesn't look like Oprah Winfrey's balance, right? So you have to know what it looks like for your life. And then, what is important. And I think one of the things that's most important as we talk about work, life, and balance is, our family is really, really important. For those of us who wear a lot of hats, and I know we multitask, we put this hat on, we take that hat off, and being a pastor's wife, a first lady, an entrepreneur, and just doing a lot of different things. I mean, sometimes you can get really, really stressed out. And I just remember years ago when I was slated to speak at a women's conference. And so it was all set. My flight was set. And, I looked up and I don't know how I missed it, but it was Buddy's junior prom. And when I tell you the stress that went into, I'm got to be here. How can I be in 2 places at one time? And I know many mothers have experienced that where it's like, this is an important milestone in his life. I want to be there. And so I made a decision. I talked to the person and I wasn't scheduled to speak till later. And literally what I did was I booked another flight to fly home, to be at home, to take pictures and to, see him off and all that, because for me, it was important that I was there. And when they left, I jumped in a car, ran back to the airport, got on the plane, and went back to the conference. And so I just think that for me, it took effort to do it, but I am so thankful that when I look back over those photos, I wasn't missing in action. I was there. So I just think it's very important that when you're looking at your life, the things that you value the most, I think should play a part in, your schedule. So for me, that was just one of the times when I was so glad that I made the choice to do that. And I know so many mothers and fathers have to make difficult choices to be with their children or not to be with their children. So I definitely wanted to add that to this conversation.
Excellent, excellent. We're going to the phone lines, you guys. If you have a comment or a question about work-life balance, call us at 313-778-7600. Jessica, are you there? Hi, Jessica. Okay, somebody said that they can't hear you. What? Who can't you hear, Gloria?
I can't. I can't handle it because I'm not on the call. Katrina's got it.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, y'all messing up my flow. All that stuff going on, me and my caller. Jessica, thank you for calling. Excuse all the other background stuff, but back to you, Jessica.
Wondering, what are some things that you all do to really unwind at the end of a busy work day.
That's so good. So good. How do you unwind after a busy work day? Gloria, who loves working more than any of us, I think.
Yes.
She is a self-proclaimed workaholic. She's proud of it. She says, I'm Gloria Mayfield Banks and I'm a workaholic and I'm proud of it. So Gloria,
don't be telling all my business. She telling all my business. I don't know all these radio people. Thank you, Jessica, for your such a kind question. And Sabrina for throwing it all over the bus. Okay, so yes, I do like to work. And yes, I work more than most. Yes. But you know what? I don't necessarily work more than most because work for me feels like a hobby in so many ways. And I just sort of love it. I'll bounce over here to work, then I bounce over here to social media, then I bounce over talking to people. And the people that I work with, fortunately for me, are such friends of mine. I mean, I laugh more than anything when I work. So I like that piece of it. But I do pay attention to the way that I balance my work life. And I balance it, like Chris was saying, that we all do it sort of differently. So my definition is I love to travel. I've always loved to travel. And so when I travel and I vacation, that's sort of when I stop. I don't necessarily relax at the end of the day. You know, my day of relaxation stops when I fall asleep. Like, and it takes me a little bit to fall asleep. Now, in the mornings now, I'm doing a lot more with my private time, my quiet time, my intentional prayer time, my meditation time. I'm still trying to learn how to meditate. I see Carrie on Facebook talk about meditation. So, but it takes a lot for my brain to stop. Now, I will tell you this too. Talk about work-life balance. Sometimes when you can't relax or stop like other people do, you start questioning yourself and you start talking negatively to yourself and you start beating yourself up because you don't relax like other people relax. So you like to work more than other people work. So I think it's really important that everybody pays attention to their own situation. Some people can stop and take a nap in the middle of the day. I literally have to go in the car and sleep. And about 10 minutes later, I wake up like, oh, I'm taking a nap. I jump up and feel like, oh no, I stopped. You know, it's like, there's so much I love to do. Not so much I have to do, so much I love to do. And so therefore it becomes that type of balance for me. So Jessica, I love that question. But that's me, and some of the other girlfriends might have something to say about that.
Yeah, you know, for me, I don't watch TV a lot. I am not a movie person. My husband says I'm the worst movie date ever. I just have always been high energy, and I don't like to sit still that long. But I do love to read, and I do love to write. I will listen to some good music. D Nice has been my main man during this pandemic, just to relax and get into a groove. But I know a lot of people like to watch TV to wind down, and that's not just one of my things. Today, I was feeling a little antsy, and I said, as soon as this show is over, I'm definitely going out while we still have daylight, and I want to walk. Rio and I are going to take a walk. That relaxes me, and so I'm definitely going to go for a walk right after the show. Somebody said tension tamer tea and music. Never heard of tension tamer tea. I'm going to have to look that up.
Yeah, because after being on the show with Sabrina, she give us tension, so I have to go get it.
Right.
I like to walk too, y'all. I walk sometimes too. Go ahead.
You know what, Sabrina? A couple of things that I like to do. I absolutely like to jog. I love nature. I love to hear, especially in the spring and the summer. I like, being outside by myself. Nobody's there. It's just my time. I talk to God. I meditate and get clarity. I mean, it is just awesome. It's a stress reliever. So, I love to jog. And one of my other favorite things to do, and you've heard me say it before, I love taking hot bubble baths. I literally can just put a candle up, turn the lights down, get in the tub, turn some soft music on, or listen to something. And that's what do it for me, for sure. So those are two things that I love to do.
Katrina, I was going to say, you?
Yeah, you learned from a previous show that I'm an introvert. What were we, Chris? Ambiverts.
Ambivert.
So I really like time alone. I mean, that replenishes me. Time alone. I will tell you though, both Chris and I share this, that our parents, my mom now, but I'm referring back to my dad when my dad was alive and he was living with me. And one of the regrets that I do have, I didn't have a lot of regrets. We had a lot of time together, but he went to bed early and I like time alone, but I do regret not taking as much time to just go sit with him and do what he loved to do, watch the news. My dad was brilliant. And so I like watching TV and movies with him because he would explain all kind of stuff and break it down, Daddy. We pause and explain it. And so I really look at my mom now and I say, I don't want to have that same regret. So I will just make it a point. I don't always hit the mark, but I'll make it a point to stop at some point in the day, just to go sit with my mom for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and make sure there's just time. Just because you're in the house together doesn't mean you are spending quality time together. So that's part of but sometimes I'm still racing, thinking what I got to do. So it's not easy for me, but I'm working on it.
Right. I don't think it's easy for anybody who's powerfully productive because you're always wanting to go to the next goal. There's always something else to chase. But I believe at this stage and age in life, and what the pandemic has done, which I'm so grateful for, is like put a stop on things. It's just made you sit down, smell the flowers, listen to the birds, examine where you are in life. And so I'm very grateful for that reset. I just really am. I will always look back on this year and thank God for the reset, because before this, I was going 90 to nothing. And I was just going here. And I was making things happen, but I don't know how much I was really enjoying the journey or smelling the flowers along the way. And what has worked really well in my marriage, Kenny's a big sports buff, of course. And so early in my marriage, I would just have to make myself sit there. I wasn't into a lot of sports before marriage. And that would just became a staple in our house. And so it was like, okay, this Sunday, football, I'm sitting my butt in that chair on that couch and I'm going to get into this game because that's where he is. Okay. And if I want to be with him, I need to be with this game. Right. And so, and then I fell in love. I fell in love with the sport of football. And so I think just knowing your surroundings and being intentional about where you're going and how you go. You guys, I was reading for this program and it talked about at home. How do you create balance at home? And because so many of us work at home, work is breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the after party. And so you have to separate, you have to remove yourself from your work environment. So the number one thing they said is unplug. You got to learn how to unplug. To create balance, you have to unplug. And we know for us in sales, unplugging, especially in this virtual world with social media, that's tough. That's tough to unplug. Also, they said, learn to say no. No is a complete sentence. No. You just have to get confident in the no. They also said divide and conquer. Make sure responsibilities at home are evenly distributed and clearly outlined. You'll avoid confusion and problems later. That's good, right?
Right.
Don't overcommit. Don't overcommit. Stop saying, yeah, that sounds good. I'll do it. For years, I was a people pleaser, wanted to please everybody and everything. You can count on me. I'll be there. Chrisette, I've changed, okay, over the years. I've changed over the years, okay? And some of y'all have made me change, okay? Some of y'all have made me change. Also, it said get support. To create balance, get support. I learned this early on. Women, you do not have to be all things to all people all the time.
That's another topic.
Early on, I learned early on, it's okay to get a housekeeper. They're not that expensive. Work an extra gig. If you don't like cleaning, stop complaining about it and get Molly maids to come in once a month. I learned early on, get you some quality help to help with the children so you can have some mommy time. It's okay. I really have learned that. Now, that was a big part of harmony for me in my life. Also talked about, oh my goodness, take advantage of your company's EAP program, Employee Assistance Program. Many employers have resources that can give you precious time by providing guidance on issues like where to find daycare, caretaking for an elderly parent. If you're doing all of that, there are resources out there, referrals for mental health and other services, therapists along the way. I really believe that as women, we just take it all on because you know what? Our grandmothers, our ancestors took it all on. But I'm telling you this now, we do not have to take it all on. Uh, create
Sabrina,
fun.
could I
Create fun. Go ahead, Katrina. Go ahead.
I was just going to say something about that. You know, we talk about getting help, get help, get help, get help. And now some of us have consistent help all the time. And some people are not in a position for that. But now with the Tackle app, there's so many apps where when you just need help for the day, you just, something that normally would take your whole weekend, just go get you 2 or 3 people that come to your house, help you with that, and it's done. And like my garage or the project, the backyard, different things that you just want to do. And that can give you so much peace so that you can kick your heels up. There is no excuse to say you cannot find help right about now. It is so
And you know
easy.
what? Let me
and you're
add to
blessing
that,
other people.
Katrina. Right, exactly. I was just getting ready to say that. I remember early on when my children were little and I was building my business, I went and found me what they call a Girl Friday. And a Girl Friday literally was the girl that did everything that you didn't want to do. And we were taught early on to write down all the things that you really don't like doing and then delegate it out. Let somebody else do it for you. And that's a big piece of it is, sometimes we think we have to do it all, but the bigger blessing is when I had my Girl Friday and she did my grocery shopping, she went and picked up my cleaners. And I said it from the very beginning, your job is to do all the stuff I don't like to do. Is that going to be a problem? And she said no. But because I was paying her to do that, it was income coming into her household. So it's a double blessing. You're not having to spend the time or waste the time doing things you don't like to do. And you're employing somebody else that don't mind doing it. So I totally agree with you, Katrina. You become an employer and you bless somebody else financially.
I'm big on that. I'm really, really, really big on supporting how you bless other people and how sometimes you have to be creative in the way that you design it. When you talk about work-life balance, you might need somebody one day a week. You might need somebody 1 month, one day a month. You might need somebody Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But what's important is to know what you need and to know that someone's out there that's going to fit that. You don't always have to fit into what they have available. You figure out what you need, and then that person will show up. But I think that women have to know they have to be very creative and be very clear about what they want, and that person will show up. I got 2 other tips. One tip is, I don't know about you all, but sometimes when you were talking about unplugging, we don't know how much your phone going bzz, 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 bzz. I mean, it just really sends some people over the edge. Well, I don't have any notifications turned on. Almost all the time, my phone is turned off. The sound is off. The notifications pop up the little red circle, but it doesn't make a lot of noise. And my husband was the one who said it to me. He said, Gloria, why does that thing have to go off all the time? Every time you look at it, there's an email for you. Every time you look at it, there's a text message for
Right.
you. Every time you look at it, there's something different. So why does it have to tell you that it's there? Because it's always there. So that's one thing. If that bothers you and you have a way of unplugging, because honestly, I can walk away from my phone and stay present to what I'm doing because my phone's not going to be. And the other thing, work-life balance, you guys, I'm going to challenge all of our listeners to look around their home. And if you are sitting in chaos, if you're sitting where you have a lot of paperwork all around you and you're mad, I've done this a lot of times. I've told people to go get a clean, fresh, big old box or a clean, fresh trash bag and put everything in that trash bag and put it in the garage and see if you go looking for that paperwork. I bet in like 3 or 4 months, you're not going to even look for that paperwork. It was driving you crazy. You sucked your teeth every time you walked into your workplace. And now you can make your workplace look absolutely gorgeous. It's just get rid of everything. For me, junk around me is very uncomfortable. So I get rid of it, but you got to know yourself.
Excellent.
That's
We're going to
good.
the phone lines. You guys, these are great
Yes.
tips. We are getting
Phone
it
line.
in. Please call in with your thoughts, your questions. We got issues. We do, and we're talking about them. 313-778-7600. Amina, are you with us? I believe that's how you pronounce your name. Are you there?
Hi, this is such an important comment. Thank you so much. And you all have really touched on what both my question and comment is in terms of when you talk about harmony and how you're identifying what balance means for yourself. And that brings to mind, especially coming out of this time and the pandemic, how we are also paying attention to when and how we find that harmony and shift that balance. Because unfortunately, these conversations balance feel so static, ironically. And so how are we also grounding and taking the time to even identify, you know what, balance looks like this now. And balance looks like this now. How are we all, how do you all offer yourself that grace and take that time to evaluate what balance looks like, for instance, from 1 year to the next, so that you can be in tune and have that harmony with what balance is organically and fitting for you.
That's good, Amina.
Yes.
That's good. That's really good. You really
What
do
grace looks like to you. I thought that was interesting. She said,
Yeah. And again, you can't look at somebody else's life and decide what it's going to feel like and look like for you. And it changes. When you have small children, it looks one way. When you're empty nesters, it looks another way. And so it's so important for you to take the time to get still, to think about where you are in life, what's important to you in life. When you have teenagers, that's another thing. When you don't have, you know what I'm saying? We have babies, that's another thing. When you're newlywed, that's another thing. And so thank you, Amina, for really pointing that out, that you do have to get still, evaluate, and reset. It's different things for different people at different times, for sure. You were about to go to another break. And so does a girlfriend, we have about a minute to address Amina before we go.
Well, I think that one of the things that you said that you reiterated, Sabrina, is that it could change even monthly. You know, this pandemic has made a change. When we went into the new year, you had to reset. When you get around now, it's springtime and you need to reset. And people are feeling the urge to get out. And so that's going to cause a reset. You know, emotional management means that you have to take a look at it and reset. So I love the fact that she brought across the different lights that could be happening to the same people in the same circumstance. And you have to reset yourself and give yourself grace, because if you don't give yourself grace, you do beat yourself up. And so we don't want that to be a part of what's happening.
No, we are lifting you guys. We are loving, we are laughter, we are light, and we are lessons. We're going to a break. This is Sabrina Goodwin Monday with Katrina, Gloria, and Chrisette on 9:10 a.m. The Superstation. Here we go to a break.
All right. We're on a break. Commercial. It's a commercial. I'm your girl today talking to you through the commercials. Our Facebook audience and YouTube audience cannot hear the commercials. So this is the ongoing conversation. I think pretty much every women's magazine that you pick up every month, any given magazine. I love Real Simple. Do they still have that magazine? I used to get it to my house, but constantly has things in there about work-life balance. This is not the conversation that men have. This is the conversation that women have consistently all the time. And so we learn from each other. We improve each other. I posted that thing about the Nextdoor app, y'all. What I love about that is, and I know we have to be, careful during COVID now, but it's a really easy way to find help right in your neighborhood. So you kind of know them, they have to register on the site. So there's great things. Yeah, Sabrina, Gloria just put in our chat, this is an excellent show. And we're loving the topic. We really are. This is so important. Confirmation. I love it, Latricia. What was the confirmation that you got? What was the confirmation? Yes, Real Simple at Lowe's the other day. I love just simple, quick things. My work-life balance, I give myself a little bit of time. I love to laugh. And the challenge I have is when you watch, get the comedians on either XM radio, there's a couple really good comedy stations, or when you watch the laughter on, you watch it on Netflix or whatever, it's always full of vulgarity. And in between there's always some really good jokes, And so it's hard for me to listen because of that. So mine is TikTok, y'all. Every day it gives me like 15 minutes of total mindless laughter mixed in. I follow a bunch of people that mix in a lot of really good history and different things. I've learned a lot of Black history even through that. But it's my one just think a different thought, step out of this constant work, do zone. And so yeah, this is really good. I think for so many women, for me, I think help is at the top of my list. I think that is the top of my list. Hey, Drea, we miss you. We miss you. We miss you. Girl, where you been? You know, we got issues without you, right? So yeah, priorities. Latricia says my confirmation was about things I need to step away from so I could prioritize my time better. Too many things out of balance. We're about to come back, made some hard decisions today, but the weight I felt off my shoulders
All
made
right,
it
all
worth
right, all right. We're back. We're back. This
Latricia.
is The Force of Friendship with Sabrina, Katrina, Gloria, and Chrisette. 9:10 a.m. The Superstation Talk Radio. And we are talking work-life balance. We got issues. We want more of it. We don't have any of it. We got too much of it. And we are here to work it out. Work it out, work it out, work it out. Well, you guys, we were talking about before the break, the importance of understanding that it's important. It's important for your mental health and well-being. If you don't have it, you feel out of sorts. You feel frustrated. You feel unappreciated. You feel all of those things. And so we want to give you the power to find the balance. And I always said that, you know what, I always never really thought I had balance, but I did create harmony in my life. What works for the Mondays might not work for the Banks, might not work for the Ellises, but it works for the Mondays. And so I think women have to be confident in their household to create what works for you. So with that being in mind, you guys, what else would you like to say? I mean, Gloria, you were masterful about finding help on a scrudget. Okay,
Right.
You know, you ain't always had a whole bunch of money, girlfriend, but you taught me early on that there are people who will help you. You said, Sabrina, help. When I tell you this chick has more people working for her,
You got that right.
Just to be in your space. So, Gloria, talk a little bit about light and laughter and love and finding the help that you need to create balance and harmony.
Well, you know, I think that Chris brought it up when she said, if you help me, I'm going to help you increase your income. I really think that people don't understand the gift that you give to other people when they get to be around you. I don't think we understand the gift that we give to other people when you're a very passionate, ambitious person. Your energy wavelength is up. Your positivity is up, your conversation is up, and they like to be in that environment, and you like them to be around, because if they are a positive, energetic person, not a lot of people can handle them. So when you're that way and they're that way, people want to be in your space. That's number one. Number two, people love to be around people who are going someplace, and they're going to get there. They like to help you do something. The other people like to help other people win. Why? Because it causes winning for them. And so when they get to win, they will come through anything, y'all. I mean, you guys do not even understand how many women at your church, in your community, who could be bored, who would love to come in and help you with your children, love to come in and help you cook, love to help you come in and get your life together. Even in COVID, they're going crazy. They got their shots, you got their shots. Your kids are small. They would come in, they'll read to your
That's
kids.
right.
Look, y'all, it is so much. And when you reach out and let other people participate in your dream, they start dreaming more. So that's something
great.
I knew way back in. And so I have always had help. I have always had help. And one of the things is it allows my reach to be bigger. When women say to me, well, Gloria, when do I get help? I said, when you want to grow. When you want to grow is when you're going to get help. And the other thing I want to tell you, Sabrina, about work-life balance is I want to tell all our listeners to remember, you get the right to teach people how to treat you. And so when you are feeling out of balance and your job is making you feel out of balance and your coworkers are making you feel bad and all of a sudden your energy gets zapped, it's because you forgot that you get to teach people how to treat you. You don't get to look at me that way. You don't get to suck your teeth that way. You don't get to evaluate me that way. You don't get to treat me that way without understanding what is going on with me. And so I just think that as women, I'm loving this particular show because it's reminding us that it is harmony. It's harmony for me too. And I remember telling Sabrina, I used to say to Sabrina, you're supposed to get up at 5 o'clock. You're supposed to get up at 5 o'clock. I ain't getting up at 5 o'clock. The sun ain't up at 5 o'clock. I ain't getting up at 5 o'clock. I don't care what the book says. I ain't getting up at 5 o'clock. But she'd be up till 1 or 2 o'clock.
Right.
The same today. And
That's
that was
right.
her harmony. You know, so everybody has to define it differently. And you said another thing, Sabrina. You said a woman has to be confident enough to know what works in her home. Because I promise you, if you looked at all our four homes, I can start laughing just thinking about what our four homes look like. And they look completely different.
And you know what, Gloria,
Sabrina.
to add to that, I think is important, especially when you have your children that are watching you. We always say it's not what's taught, it's what's caught. And so I think as we learn how to create balance for our lives, our children are watching it. So as they grow up, they will in turn see the importance of creating balance for them as well. So I just think that is so many lessons that we are teaching that sometimes you don't even know how much your children are watching you. So if you're always stressed out, they grow up thinking that that's just the way life is supposed to
That's
be.
right.
You're always supposed to be stressed out.
Yeah.
But if they see you handling a whole lot and, you know, the family's happy and you're, you know, doing what you need to do to create balance, I believe they'll do the same thing. So I think that's important as well for our children.
Let's go to the phone lines. Thinking about children, you guys. This was my daughter's topic. She said, "Mom, you guys need to talk about work life." She just got a big promotion, and she's on the line. Sydney, are you there? Sydney, are you there?
Hey, girlfriend.
Hey, Sydney.
I want to say first, like, love that I can just call in and request that my mom and her closest girlfriends tackle a topic that I need guidance in my life. So thank you all. I think something I'd love to kind of hear y'all's feedback on is first, like, tips for dealing with burnout, and also tips for kind of like carving out the time in your life when you're like younger. I'm in my 20s in the New York area. Carving out the time in your life to balance kind of both building a life, you know, like I'm single, like no kids, like take the time out to like find hobbies and stuff like that. So I'd love to hear your feedback on those too.
Okay, thank you, Sydney, for calling. We got to hit this right quick. Girlfriend, we got 2 minutes to close. Who wants to take it? Thank you for calling, Sydney. Go, Gloria.
I just want to take one thing, Sydney. You know what? Look into your friends. See if you can mix up the kind of friends you hang with, because friends will introduce you to do things that you may not have done. Hang out with people who like to hike, or hang out with someone who likes to party, or hang out with somebody who likes to do adventurous things. I've done that. My girlfriend, Angie, she loves to do things that I don't like to do. She loves to organize. And so when we get together, I change her life. She changes mine.
I love that. I love it.
And the only thing that I would add is, you know, sometimes we think we have to take a lot of time. And when you are a workaholic, Sydney, just take a few minutes to yourself. Say, today, I'm going to carve out 10 minutes that's just about me, whether it is meditation, whether it is you're just, you know, chilling out. Don't feel like you have to take a lot of time. Take a little segments of time to begin that journey of taking more time for yourself.
Yeah, because you're getting those promotion girls, and we know you grinding, girl. Grind, Sydney, grind.
Oh, my goodness.
I would say this quote: "My joy is non-negotiable." Sydney, your joy is non-negotiable.
Right.
Find what gives you joy. And it's a blessing if your work gives you joy. If your work don't give you joy, figure it out.
All right. We're closing, you guys. Denzel Washington recently tweeted, "If you died tonight, your employer would advertise to fill your job by the end of the month. But your loved ones, chosen family and friends, would miss you forever. Don't get too busy making a living that you forget to work on making a life." Girlfriends, you've been amazing. We'll see you soon. This is Sabrina Goodwin Monday with the Force of Friendship with 9 to a.m. The Superstation. We'll see you tomorrow with online dating. It's going to be a hot topic for Friday. So we'll see you soon. Take care. God bless. Ciao.
Thank
you, Jayla.
Good topic, Sabrina. That was
awesome.
Another showdown, another Thursday. That was great.
We don't know if y'all have fun, but we have fun with each other. We have fun. We have fun watching y'all on Facebook. Y'all have fun,
chat
but we
was
have
hot.
fun. We have fun talking about each other, trash each other on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, Sabrina opened it so tragically. I mean, that was so good. It was so good. It was so good.
So needed, so necessary. You know, these women are going back into the workforce, and they've been home, and now they're trying to figure it all out. And Sydney just called me the other night because she is loving her job, but you know what? It's a lot. But because you're young and they know you don't have children, you're not married, so they're piling it on.
Right.
But, anyway, so she's trying to make sure, because she's seen me grow and with her in the home of having the work-life balance. The great thing about being an entrepreneur, you really can create what you want it to be. But when you work for somebody else, it's a little more challenging.
Right.
And so I think that, hey, Latricia Henry, she said she tuned in at the right time. Great show. Everybody wants it. Everybody desires it. And we don't always have it right. But I think if you keep it in front of you, knowing that that's the goal, you have more balanced, harmonious days than not. So that's the goal.
Right. Sabrina and I had this conversation the other day. I mean, I felt the tears welling up in my eyes. I looked at Anthony and I said, I am not going this fast. Like I'm so glad we have slowed down, and now going from this house to the other house and then getting ready to leave. I felt myself going, I'm not going this fast. It's not going to be the same. I'm like, I'm not going there. So we are leaving. I need another day. I need another day. Because it's not going to be the exact same. I think we'll be more productive.
The re-entry post-pandemic. I also told my husband, and I think I told Gloria, I probably told all the girlfriends that I'm not going to travel the way I was traveling, because I realized I don't have to. I will travel when I want to. I got a speaking request today and said, "Are you back? Are you back up and running? You know, I want to fly you in." I was like, "No. I'm not, no, I'm not." And so what this has taught us all, you guys, is what harmony looks like to us. What does balance look like for you? So it's exciting that we now know we have choices, that pandemic gave us a reset for sure.
Can't wait for tomorrow's show, y'all. Share the show. Share. This is a great show to use to invite your girlfriends. So share the show. Every woman can relate. Share the show. And you can just send them, y'all, to theforceoffriendship.com, to our website. All the different ways they can watch. Facebook is not the only way. All the ways are there. They can sign our mailing list. So they stay tuned. But we appreciate y'all. Tomorrow's going to be hot, Gloria. Can't wait.
And if you guys know that you have ventured into online dating, I know you guys like watching us, but we want you to call in, tell us about your experience. Tell us if he was the right one, or if you knew, oh my God, I don't know what I got myself into. We want to hear stories. We want to laugh. We really do. So please make sure you give us a call.
And find somebody who's done it and ask them to call in, because some people will lean in on different topics. So that'll be so exciting for all of us to learn. Because if we're not currently doing it, we know somebody who is, or someone who regretted that they did.
Get them to call in. Otherwise, they're going to make me tell all my stories, because I got a whole bunch. I don't want to tell them.
I really got stories. Oh, but
going on blast, Katrina.
Lazy, crazy, messy, nosy. I got all them stories about online dating.
Okay.
We'll see y'all later. See you tomorrow.
Bye, ciao.
Bye.